Hi there, and welcome back to the Rangers News YouTube channel with Jordan alongside James.
Hello.
Just at this point, we'll also, I think last week had a bit of a shout out on the subscribers. We're looking to push that over 2K if it's not there already, so we'd really appreciate that. Something a bit more positive to talk about this time. Rare, very rare, but fantastic progression in the Europa League. Continue to defy the odds, through 4 qualification rounds, and then we're seeing off a big side like Braga, having got through a really competitive group. Brilliant performance across both legs there, and the reward is a tie against Bayer Leverkusen of Germany and the Bundesliga. So we're just going to have a quick look at now in advance of the tie, what we think the chances are and how far Rangers can progress in this competition.
This now it's got interesting. I don't think there's any reason why Rangers can't beat Leverkusen. If I'm being honest, I think that pretty much anybody in the tournament now is possibly fair game. It's one of these ones where we've seen how good Rangers can be in Europe. We've seen how good they can play against sides where, to borrow a line for Steven Gerrard, where they prefer to be the underdogs. I think Rangers' style of play just suits being against teams who are going to look to come forward at them. They kind of look more adept at not even necessarily trying to find space and hitting the counter, but to let teams kind of come at them a little bit and to see enough of the ball, but then punish them. You look at the Braga games, and in both legs of the Braga games, the Portuguese side had the better possession. I know I said I wasn't overly impressed with them, and after a second, I totally stand by that. Wasn't totally impressed with them. Decent side, they were all beaters. But they were one who were more than comfortable in the ball. They were more than comfortable to try and come forward and to try and take their chances. Yeah. And it suited Rangers to play against that. And when you look at the teams who are still in the competition, your Inter Milans, your Man U's, that kind of thing, these are all teams who are absolutely going to face, should they face Rangers, are going to look at taking the game to them. Yeah. So I think it's going to need a huge slice of luck, but I don't see why they can't go much further in the competition. You get a good result against Leverkusen at Ibrox. Why can't you take it to Germany and hold it?
Yeah, I think I would say that I probably disagree slightly on Braga. I thought they were very poor in their home leg, but I think the first hour at Ibrox, I think they're the best team that Rangers have played so far in the competition. I think it's hard to tell, because we're jumping across countries and that sort of stuff, but Leverkusen are a team with guys who have serious pedigree in there, although it is still a better draw than United, Inter, I think probably Roma, Sevilla, these guys, especially, Sevilla more because of their record in the competition is absolutely mental. But Leverkusen have your Havertzes, and then although Kevin Volland, the main striker, has just been ruled out basically for the season, which is a huge bonus for Goldson and Edmondson or whoever's partnering Goldson in this time round. But they've got good players across their pitch. I think one like their squad's been valued at about 400 million, something like that, which is well beyond what you're talking about with the Rangers squad. But as you say, they've had that little spark in Europe that when the chips are down or when they're the underdogs, that they can come through and perform that way. So I think Bayer before the weekend had 9 wins out of their last 10 games. It stretched back to before the winter break, and then they drew with RB Leipzig, who I think were second in the league going into that game. So we're talking serious players. Oh, yeah. But once you look beyond that, as you say, it's fair game. Do you think, how last 8 would be massive, so in contrast to what's happened domestically? But that would be massive for the club.
Massive. There's all this chat that Steven Gerrard's lost the dressing room. Yeah. Bollocks. You look at that team played against Braga. Bollocks. Yeah. Seriously. You look at... There's no question that the domestic form's not been good enough, at least since the turn of the year. But there's something there in Europe that is just... it's almost like an intangible.
Yeah.
They're pulling results out where, I mean, I think most people expect Rangers to go out against Braga. And for me, over the course of the 2 legs, they were far the better team. If you take that over the 180 minutes, I don't think there was any doubt the Rangers deserved to go through that.
And before that, probably no one expected Rangers to get out the group.
No, exactly.
To start off with.
And you look at some of the results in the group. Beating Porto. Most folk had Porto putting 3-4-5 past Rangers.
Yeah.
Getting good results against Feyenoord. Another side who folk had having 3-4-5 past Rangers. And now we're being told that Leverkusen is going to put 3-4-5 past Rangers. Ah, cool, brilliant. Let's see.
Yeah, see how it goes.
It's German teams are always really funny ones, I find, because like the English, I think some of the Italian teams, there's a kind of a weird feeling about the Europa League where it's not the Champions League. So it's not that it's not totally unimportant, but it's not the be all and end all.
Which for Rangers it now is.
Absolutely. And I think just kind of the timing of it. Leverkusen are going to be pushing for Champions League places in their domestic league. I would imagine that is going to take priority. And I know that if they go on and win the Europa League, that they'll get an automatic group stage place. But there's always seemed to be this perception that it's easier to do through your domestic league than it is through European competition. I mean, you look at the English sides, how often the English sides go, we'll just sack off this, we'll concentrate on getting fourth, and we'll get a Champions League qualifier, and they'll kind of sacrifice going for the automatic spot through the Europa League. So I wouldn't be surprised if Leverkusen do similar. When I watched their game against Leipzig, really good team going forward.
Yeah, they looked a bit...
Defensively, I thought they were a bit suspect.
Yeah, the goal was a bit questionable, and straight after they'd scored and a bit of a switch off, and they have a couple of very tall, rangy defenders, Jonathan Tah and Wendell at left back, I think is a good weapon. But yeah, I think the one thing that sort of comes from the whole episode and the whole European thing is that, you know, we're seeing things like big bodies like FIFA and UEFA, you know, using Rangers content because there's so many fans, but the name is out there, isn't it? The name of the club is now out there again, and basically what we're saying is they could get through this tie and conceivably press on from there.
I mean, you look at some of the teams who're still in it. You've got Lask, who, they're kind of the unknown quantity in it. You're not telling me that given the quality of some of the sides that Rangers have beaten in Europe already this season, that they wouldn't have at least a good chance against Lask, against United. I mean, United couldn't keep Wayne's at a close just now.
Yeah, well, they did very well against Club Brugge, but they went down to 10 men early on, and then they hammered them.
That was some red card, that, by the way.
But I didn't see it.
This was something else, mate. Something else.
Right, but yeah, what we're saying is potential positive stuff, and something to look forward to and something to build upon in what will be a big week either side of an Old Firm.
I mean, the only one possible thing, the potential drawback, is this coronavirus nonsense. Because I would really hate... I mean, we've now had the first case confirmed in Scotland. I think Germany's already confirmed that they've had some. Are we going to be looking at 2 closed doors games?
Which takes a bite out of the whole thing, doesn't it?
Big time. It takes a lustre away from it. It takes a hell of a lot of money away from it. I mean, that's... And you're talking something like £1.8 million in gate receipts for a packed Ibrox. You don't see any of that. So that's a worry. And I know that there's always this thing about advantage that you get. It doesn't exist for me. I don't buy into it. I don't think there is such a thing as home advantage with fans when you look at Braga.
Yeah, I know, but I think it depends on the club. I think Ibrox is a special draw, whereas they're an open-ended stadium where they only had 15,000 fans. I think it's...
I think it could have an effect on kind of getting 2 opposition players, but I don't think it's the be-all and end-all. I think it's more just it's a jolly for the fans, really. And, you know, given where Rangers have been over the last 7, 8, 9 years...
It's deserved.
Why not have a jolly? Why not go to Germany and drink steins of lager and get absolutely buckled and enjoy yourself? I just hope this coronavirus doesn't put an end to it.